Football Talk, the podcast. It's me and him.
It's me.
Yeah, it's Josh.
Football
Very,
Talk.
very early in the morning. I do take full responsibility for having a podcast on at 8 o'clock in the morning UK time because I was out, getting drunk. So,
Yeah, what were you getting drunk one day? What were you?
What was drink of choice? Drink of choice.
Drink of choice. Yeah.
I had one cocktail.
Nice.
Which was a very strange colour of green. It was similar to green of our Football Talk colour, green. So it was a very strange green. And then red wine. And then I had some red wine after that. We were having brunch with friends that are leaving, going back to the UK. So boozy brunch, nice boozy brunch, which was good.
Lovely.
But yes, it meant it was all postponed, and we had to do it on a Monday morning. So thank you, Josh, for being accommodating.
Right. It's a good start to the morning in terms of starting a working day. Why not spend an hour with your mate chatting about football? That's a pretty good start, I'd say.
Exactly. I couldn't agree. Well, I mean, it's the end of my working day, but yeah, 100%. What better way to end the day? Talking to a mate, chatting about football. So,
yeah.
Very good. I've got a feeling we're going to be quite echoey right now because I haven't turned that off. bit of technical now.
I always pat Dave on the back going, I've got it sorted, but I never chase him up on the echo. So let's add that to the list.
Can confirm echo is now sorted.
Off you.
So the echo will be sorted. So don't put any comments in saying there's an echo. Let's talk football. Let's talk football. News, Josh. Start us off.
Oh, I want to touch on Ajax.
Yeah.
And Ajax played in the league on Saturday, I think it was, and it was around 4-0 at half time. And it's like, that's a decent win. You can go and take your foot off the gas. Nope. No. 9-0 in the second half, 13 in total.
Yeah.
And I think much like in The Simpsons, where you can pinpoint the moment Ralph Wiggum's heartbreak, you can pinpoint the moment. You can pinpoint the moment that the Venlo heads went down because between the 54th and the 59th minute, I think they conceded a further 4 goals.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah. It was
basically there's one where they kicked off and it goes back to the defender who then gets tackled. It gave me flashbacks of Arsenal v Spurs and Fabregas. With Arsenal scoring 2 in quick succession just before half time. Fabregas dispossessing someone running through. It's like, oh god. And those Venlo players and were just.
Is Lee Cattermole still there?
No, I think he's retired now. But you're right. Linking with 2, he was part of that setup as recently as last year.
Because that would have been amazing if he had come on at half time and then they had conceded 9 more. That would have been brilliant.
But... no side with Lee Cattermole when he's getting beat 13-0. That's the tenacity of fighting the man. He wouldn't let that happen, would he?
Judging by the sounds of it, Josh, I don't think one man would have changed that game. So I don't think it would have been Lee Cattermole's fault. I think it would have happened. He's shit. He's terrible. It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Sorry. I mean, shouldn't be doing that. European football, other news in Europe.
Yeah.
Pirlo's struggling, isn't he? With a team that's won the league 7 years in a row, or whatever ridiculous stat it is. What's that about? Terrible manager? Players not having faith in him?
And also, it is. I mean, I don't think any leagues kind of can avoid the weird situation here. We're having weird situations all around because of lack of pre-season. I think it just doesn't help a manager's setup in terms of coming into a situation like that, does it? So I think you've got to give a certain amount of time to people but some of his starting 11s have been a bit choice.
I just think the one team that shouldn't need time is Juventus. Because it's ridiculous, isn't it, what they've done in that league all the time. Will he last the season? Will he last the whole season?
If it continues like this and what they're currently going to like 5th or something like that, if they're 5th in I don't know, we go fast forward to March, no, I don't think he would do.
Okay.
Because then they can eke it out and then get Pep, who's going to leave Man City.
Pep's, I don't know. Pep seems to be talking a bit more about staying now, but I can't see it.
I can't see it. Like, Man City are a shadow of themselves, aren't they? In terms of, it used to be like, okay, all right, they're playing West Ham, are they? Will it be 4, 5, or 6 goals they'll score? They've created so many chances. Now it's like, I mean,
I know.
it's on Raheem's shoulders, but
the more Pep buys defenders, the more people aren't going to trust him with money.
Yeah, he wants to walk in. He wants to do an Arsene Wenger and walk in somewhere who's got a ready-made defence,
like De Ligt, Bonucci, and Chiellini. Yeah.
Yeah, and then tweak with the front end, as it were.
Why not?
We'll talk about European football. Obviously, some European competitions were played during the week. Manchester United did all right, didn't they?
Yeah, not bad. We love a bit of Paris. Love it. I thought
in your zebra kit.
Yeah, it looks much better actually on the players when they're playing rather than in the shop hanging up when you're like, oh my god, that's horrendous. I mean, it's still not very nice. I don't really like it, but yeah, it was a surprise. I thought we were going to get annihilated. To be honest, I thought we were going to get absolutely battered, but we didn't. So we won.
You managed to score some goals as well, which is nice.
Yeah, from open play. Rarity, isn't it? It's
yeah. I mean, that will change to come the weekend, but
we'll get onto that in a minute.
Yeah, and Spurs did alright in the Europa League, the big competition, the big dog,
the big one.
Carlos Vinicius coming in, 2 assists, and probably
looked good.
Yeah, he would have got a goal if it wasn't for the own goal. Obviously, the player stood into his own net to stop Vinicius getting the ball. So yeah, a very good debut. Very comforting to know that there's a player who could potentially score at least 1 goal this season. Harry Kane.
Yeah. Very true. And then the last thing for me is just to touch on Rangers, top of the league in Scotland. We mock Scottish football more than talk about it on this channel, but is it Jermaine?
It's because we just remember how good it was, Dave. Yeah. It's just kind of like, it's just fallen away.
That's it. Yeah, Rangers 6 points clear at the top of the league. Celtic have a game in hand, but it's not. It's not done. So Steven Gerrard making a bit of a name for himself, and
we kind of mentioned him over the course of his pod, and he might be quite good. I think we mentioned him last week getting the Liverpool job next. So I'd like to think he wouldn't go straight into that job and would have something different, but
he will.
I can't see him wanting to.
Yeah, he will go straight into that job. That's the thing. Yeah, if it's available and they offer it, I don't know why he would say no. So,
did you see what I shared the second goal in Rangers Europa League match? The
Kemar Roof.
You see that lovely goal? I love the way he winds up to it. He winds up to it and goes, "Right, I'm hitting it now." He's like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah. What a goal!
Here it comes.
What a goal! Yeah. It was an unbelievable goal. I mean, I always think to have the audacity to do that sort of thing is just ridiculous. Like, I don't think I can kick the ball that far, and I play a lot of football.
I am 100% sure. No matter how hard I wound up, I would be hitting that a good 10 metres.
Yeah, I think it would go more right than it would go. I started.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because you're trying so hard to hit it, I'd slice it. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
But just shout out to Jermaine Defoe as well, getting his 300th career goal, league goal for the Rangers yesterday.
Yeah.
Lovely little finish, just drops onto his left foot, slots it home, keeper doesn't even move.
Very
Jermaine
nice.
Defoe's still doing it. Lovely.
Very, very nice indeed. Yes, 300th career goal, which is good. And I say you've got to give Steven Gerrard a bit of credit. He does seem to be doing well out there, and Neil Lennon isn't at Celtic. So, he's still second, but that's not going to be good enough for them, is it? So,
that's similar to the Juventus Andrea Pirlo.
Exactly. But so what's next? What should we move on to? Because there's not much news. Have you got any other news? Any other thing?
No, let's quiz it. Oh, no, one bit of news. Yeah. Petr Cech, Chelsea squad. What?
Unbelievable, yeah. What is that about? I mean, it's just... What? There's nothing I can...
I keep getting confused if he's in the Arsenal squad or a Chelsea squad. I keep thinking, Petr Cech's been... But either way, it's just like... He'd retired a couple of years back and is now some weird job title that has just been made for him. It's like, I mean, it just adds to the lack of faith in Kepa, doesn't it? I know he's there as a injury backup, but it's just kind of like Kepa's thinking...
Surely, if you're a youngster... I know Chelsea loan out all their youngsters, but if you're a youngster, then it's like, what's going on here? I'm the under-23s keeper. I'll just sit on the bench in the Europa League, Champions League, whatever.
He's like fourth choice, so there must be some young... And can't they be in the B squad and therefore called up?
Yeah, probably, yeah. So
it's just an option they look to take, which is
everyone wants to see him back in a game with that hat on.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to
dust off the old hat, Petter.
Exactly.
Exactly. Oh, it's like a film. But no, we'll move on to the quiz, shall we?
Yes, let's go. Give us the tune. Give us the short tune.
Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time. Full work day, full song for you this
Thank
week.
you.
And we're playing a quiz called Uruguay.
He's so happy with himself.
In honour of Edison Cavani making his debut for Manchester United at the weekend. I believe that's true. How quickly, Dave? Was he as amazing?
I was impressed. Yeah, his movement was really good.
Yeah.
It gave us something different. Impressed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've picked 6 other players, 6 other Uruguayans to play in the Premier League, and there's a list of their former clubs there. And then of that 6, you name me the players there who had most Premier League appearances, goals, and international appearances and international goals. So there's 6 different answers, and then some of those 6 will be used in the questions 7 to 10.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah. Right, so Man United, number 1, it could be Edson Cavani.
No, Edison Cavani is not in this quiz.
Oh, is it? So they former club, as in they used to play for Man United?
Yes, these are all...
Right. Diego Forlan.
Diego Forlan, is that correct? Yes, it is.
Good. Liverpool and Sunderland. Oh, it's the centre-back whose name I can't remember.
That's not good enough, Dave. We need names. We don't just need positions.
Sebastian Coates.
Oh, we guess it.
Yeah. Number 3, Man United. Varela. Guilherme Varela.
Guilherme Varela, yes. Oh, it's too easy for you, Dave.
Number 4, Chelsea and Spurs. Oh, Diego Poyet.
Is that your final answer, Dave?
No, Gus Poyet. Number 5, Liverpool, Luis Suarez.
Oh, he's just smashing this.
Number 6, Arsenal, Luca Torreira.
My goodness, 6 out of 6. So of those...
I like my Uruguayans, don't I? Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to make a quiz all of Uruguayans, but there's a lot of shonky names in there.
Okay.
So I narrowed it down, and for the interest of time. So of those 6, who has made the most Premier League appearances?
Ooh. That's... I'm drawn to Suarez, so I'll go with Suarez.
Correct.
Yeah, I'll probably put him in with Premier League goals as well.
Yes, correct.
Most international appearances out of that list. Oh.
Out of that list.
Suarez again.
Yeah. Correct.
Most international goals, I'll go Cavani, and he's not in the list. Suarez
again.
Yeah.
Dave, all but 1 correct, and you have a chance to restate number 7. Most Premier League appearances.
I said Luis Suarez.
Yeah, but you got it wrong.
Oh, was it wrong? Sorry, I didn't realise that. Most Premier League appearances. So that must be Poyet.
That's Poyet.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. 90%, coming back round for his 100%. Dave loves it. So, I mean, just quickly, can you name me any other Uruguayans? What do you want to...
What, in the Premier League?
Premier League appearances, Uruguayans. Can you add to that knowledge?
I feel like I should be able to, but on the spot, without a clue in front of me, I don't know. Uruguayan... I mean, well, Edson Cavani isn't on that list, so I'll add him in there. That's 1.
Yes. God, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Let me give you a clue on a couple then. I'd go, scored probably one of the goals of the season for Middlesbrough, left-footed attacking midfielder. I think still plays over in Italy.
I want to say his name's Arse.
No, don't say that.
No?
Arse.
Arca. Julio Arca.
Julio Arca was Argentinian.
Damn it.
And, no, this is Gaston Ramirez.
Oh, Gaston played for Southampton as well, yeah.
Yes, and Hull. Okay, this is a tall, burly striker, played for Birmingham City back in the early 2000s.
Oh, my word. Big striker, played in Birmingham in the early 2000s.
Yeah. I remember him being a shaved-headed bald, I remember him being. I think he played for Deportivo as well. I had to really scrape my knowledge. No,
I'm not going to get that.
Walter Pandiani.
He did play for Deportivo, yeah.
And the last one I'll let you try and scramble through is slow centre-back, had 1 season with West Brom about 6-7 years ago. signed. Maybe he's signed from PSG. Is he signed from PSG?
Oh my God! Slow centre back for West Brom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a season at PSG, but most of his appearances came for Fenerbahce. Well, he signed him far too old. He's not good enough.
It's gonna really bug me. I think I can't. I've got it on like the tip of my tongue, but I can't put it together. Go on.
Diego Lugano.
Diego Lugano. Yeah. Well, I nailed the actual quiz. That's the main thing.
You did, yeah. Yeah. What's the real quiz?
What's the real quiz?
Yeah.
Exactly. What's the real quiz? So, yeah, very good. Very, very nice. So, thank you for that quiz, Josh. Thank you for the quiz. Let's move on. Because we didn't do it last week, we're gonna dive into betting a bit early, and then we're gonna do the reviews. So, on to the betting. It's sensible betting with Josh and Dave. There we go. That's a little intro. As you can see, first time ever. Red crosses all across the board.
Yeah. Are we becoming less sensible?
No. Yeah. Maybe. Well, no, because we're not betting loads of money. And we're having fun.
Yeah, but the bets we're placing, I feel like we're reaching a bit. I'd say.
Yeah, potentially. I mean,
I used Bet Builder on Bet365 for the first time. I'm building bets today.
I saw that. I saw you builded a bet, or whatever you want to phrase it. I don't think we're unbelievably unsensible. I think, for example, Antonio to score and Man City to win for you, and Man City to win and have the most corners, but West Ham to get the most cards, I think are two reasonably sensible bets.
Yeah. We've been let down by Man City there, really, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. And I think most people and most accumulators would have backed Man City to win. Again, your second bet, Danny Ings and Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score any time. They're both in form. So
both in good form. Lots of goals being scored in the Premier League. That was my thought. Did they score?
No.
Nothing.
Which is the same with my second bet. I was thinking there's loads of goals in the Premier League, which is why this podcast is titled Normality Returns, because the goals all just sort of dried up. I had over 3.5 goals to be scored in Liverpool versus Sheffield United, because I thought it was going to be 3-1, and it wasn't.
No.
I was one goal away. Annoying.
And then my final bet, because I placed 3, a little bit cheeky, I had a regular bet going, a penalty in the Man United match. I thought, that's just literally free money, that is.
It's a given.
But apparently headlocks aren't penalties, and Harry Maguire got away with one, and
we will get onto that in the review. But I mean, the betting hasn't. I still would argue they're sensible bets. I just don't think they just didn't come off. They just didn't come off. But the funnemeter's staying green because we're not. Yeah,
I had fun placing them, but not extra fun in winning them.
We're still over the £15 starting brackets that we gave ourselves, and obviously we've got we've got our bets going throughout the whole day. What is wrong with me? The whole season. So plenty of time. Have you got?
Yeah, my one's looking pretty good. Spurs to win a major trophy is looking pretty good.
Yeah. You think you're still on
for
that one?
Course for that. Oh, well, to be honest with you, we could easily have not qualified the Europa and got knocked out of the League Cup. So they're both wins in my book. Yeah. I could probably cash out up now, I reckon.
Okay, it'll be interesting to see that. Actually, it'll be very interesting to see that. What are you going to stick with? Build a bet, or are you going to go to something a bit more off the cuff?
I might try and just build my confidence back up, build the fun back up, and
build the fun back up.
Make it a little bit easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fun player. I need to a few tickles and a few.
Fair enough. But yeah,
a few one-liners to get my fun back up.
I think we can go. Annoyingly, yes, for the first time on the betting graphic, there is no green text to say that anyone's won any money, which is very annoying. But let's go from there into the reviews then. Josh, you can start us off with the games because you've got you're famous now for picking your derbies. So
the Eric Bakker derby, this one.
Eric Bakker derby. All right.
Yeah. You fan of him?
I only ever remember him at Leeds. I don't remember him.
Yeah, I've got a faint memory at Aston Villa, but I mean, this was a Premier League match which harked back to that era, wasn't it? This is
very much so.
Two sides, obviously Aston Villa's second season back in the Premier League, back in the Premier. This is very much a old school Premier League match, and it went one way, didn't it?
Talking of normality.
Normality resumed. Yeah, the title challenge is over. Aston Villa are now back in a relegation fight.
Yeah. just wasn't very good, was it, from Aston Villa? There's nothing.
Well, I just feel like this is a Marco Bielsa masterclass. He absolutely tore Dean Smith's Villa apart here. It was just they're on it, aren't they? They're just. There's going to be a lull. You can't continue this kind of intensity throughout a Premier League season, especially with no pre-season. But
well, they had a lull doing it in the Championship for the last 2 years,
exactly.
So it's definitely
the lull will be heavier.
Yeah, I think it will. But I mean, Bamford is proving me and probably quite a lot of others wrong at the moment. I thought he was going to be terrible. I didn't think he would score like any sort of goals. But he's banged in a few, and he seems to be. He's just bought into it, isn't he? He's Bielsa can trust him to do what he wants. He's not given. Yeah. He's kept Rodrigo that they bought out of the team pretty much at the moment, or as a substitute appearances. But a good hat trick, good hat trick from.
Good hat trick. Obviously, got to tuck the first one in. Second one, unfortunately, deflected, so I immediately discount any ability in that. But third one was kind of, and obviously mentioned, a bit Bergkamp-esque, using the players to bend around the players. It's a lovely finish. Really nice.
If Bamford's listening, he'll be loving that. Getting comparison to Bergkamp. So, lovely stuff. I mean, Villa is what?
I've got two players here I'm going to call out for their incredible selfishness. The first one, and we'll stay tuned for the second one. The first one is Jack Grealish. Incredible selfishness.
Yeah.
And so this is where he had the breakaway, and he rode so many challenges, beat so many presses, as it were, and he kept running through, and Ollie Watkins was free for a square ball, didn't take it at all. It's difficult when you freeze a frame, but it's like, that was really an easy pass there. So I think he's a bit of a head down dribbler at times. When he gets, he's obviously a very head up dribbler out when he's kind of further back in the pitch, but he's like focused when you get in the box, kind of like, I'm gonna do something here, and that was for me. Could have been a change in the game there, but
second one
wasn't meant to be. Second one, different match. So this is Liverpool, Sheffield United, Mo Salah. When the instant where Mo Salah hits the post, it's a pretty hard shot to take on, and Mane is probably about 5 yards to his left, open for a tap in.
Yeah,
and I would say Mo Salah probably up there with one of the most selfish players in world football.
Yes.
He's started very well. It's probably led him to be this kind of level of goal scorer. He needed that kind of selfishness.
Very true.
But it's just to dial it down a couple of notches. I mean, I think there'll be more to give.
Okay.
But
we've got a comment coming in from I Am Legend in the chat saying Bamford has got more goals than Martial, so it's not looking too good for the 18 goals a season that Dave predicted for Martial.
Oh, zing!
Getting ripped in the chat. Unbelievable. We weren't meant to be talking about the pre-season bets. They will review them at Christmas.
Goodness.
We'll review them at
We've got that shocker.
Unbelievable, Jack. I know your name.
How many goals has he got?
What, Martial?
Has he got a goal?
He's got none.
He's got none. But he has gone down a few times for penalties, so there's always that.
100%. He should have got goals. Yeah, should have got goals. He should be. The amount of penalties he's won is a goal, I would say. So.
Yeah, we'll count that as a goal.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Yeah.
That dives he's taken is equivalent.
I don't know if Paddy Power will, but I'll complain. I'll complain.
This is so Dave's betting.
But anyway, yes, well done, Leeds, well done, Patrick Bamford. Well played. I mean, scoring more goals than Martial so far. But yes, next derby game, Joshua.
Paolo one-shot derby, West Ham versus Manchester City. Obviously, we've mentioned this in our betting. But obviously, I mean, West Ham are a fantastic side. A draw is a great result against this West Ham side. Anyone who can get a draw against them, done brilliantly. I mean, to score 3 goals against them is unheard of. I mean, I think only one side's done it this season. So, Man City should be walking away from that really happy.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Now getting serious.
Thought I was over it, Dave.
What? First question. Right.
What, hit me?
Is Aguero done?
No, he's not done. He's don't write off Aguero.
He looks shocking. They would rather play without a striker in the second half.
He's building fitness. They've been playing out a striker for weeks now. I would say he's nearing the end. The end is nigh. So obviously we've got a season here without David Silva.
Yeah.
I'd say we're looking at. I don't know when his contract runs to actually, but I'd say we probably could be looking at a season next year without Aguero as well.
Okay, that'd be strange.
And that would be strange, and that's why I think Pep will go.
See you later. Yeah.
This is I don't need to spend my time rebuilding sides. I can spend my time winning with sides and tweaking them.
Yeah, I get that. So, I mean, that was the question I had. But let's talk about the game then. Mikel Antonio.
In all seriousness, West Ham have actually played really well this season. They are actually playing well, and it was a bit of a kind of shock how well Spurs had done against them in the first half, because that had been out of character for West Ham. They conceded very few goals, and obviously they came back into it. But they've actually played well, and it's continuing that kind of that working system from post restart, and Antonio leading the line. Antonio is such a weird career at West Ham.
It's just a weird.
It's so weird. Yeah. He's now their star striker. And like when Sebastian Haller comes on, who's like 40 odd million, he's not what they need. He kind of walks around and shrugs, and whereas Antonio is just they need more. They need another Antonio-esque player to be the backup striker. They don't need Haller. He's not what West Ham.
Are you saying they should re-sign Andy Carroll?
No, but it's definitely not. Because I put Antonio in a kind of Jamie Vardy type bracket. A kind of real.
He's more target money than Jamie Vardy.
A little bit more target man, but he had the kind of channel running, the nuisance value, and the scorer of kind of unique goals. Yeah. I think I put them similar brackets, and obviously had that lower league stint as well. But Antonio's doing really well, and when he got taken off and their kind of counterattacks lost their potency. But I mean, as alluded to earlier, Man City created next to nothing this match.
Yeah, have you got the
XG? Now, for you,
I was going to ask you the XG in the.
Yeah, the XG. Oh, have I? It's like 0.9 for Man City. Yeah, 0.89.
Yeah, that's really bad.
How can Sterling be so good yet so bad?
I don't know. Did you see the stat before the game? It was the first time since October 2017 that Pep had named an unchanged starting 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
That is.
Absolutely crazy. First time since October 2017.
No, I mean,
ridiculous.
Man United were doing it every week in post-restart, weren't you?
Exactly. But I mean, it's good for Foden. Good for Phil Foden.
He's been trusted, isn't he? And it's lovely. I mean, he somehow managed to keep control of it, but a lovely turn and finish. Yeah. Nice.
But, I mean, that goal from Antonio. Oh, he's under pressure from Laporte. He holds him off quite well. I mean, the defending was horrendous. How you can have 4 Man City defenders in the box and only 1 West Ham attacker, and he's the guy that can chest it and then over. Actually, did he chest it or did he just straight over?
No, just straight away. Just straight spot, yeah.
But yeah, lovely goal. Really good. Could Valencia do it? Antonio do it. I always call him Antonio Valencia when I mean to say Mikel Antonio.
Oh, okay, right.
Can Mikel Antonio, could he do it at another club? Or do you think he's very happy and settled at West Ham so that it's working?
He would be silly to move, I think. Okay. I think this is a site, like they're set up to facilitate him, or he helps facilitate the system. The system fits him. And no disrespect to Antonio, but anyone signing him is not going to. If they need to have that system already, they're not going to change their system for Antonio, are they?
No, that's very true. Yeah, very true. So
I think stay and
okay.
He's somewhat of a cult hero, I'd imagine. I imagine he like. I'm not sure West Ham fans will kind of forget the years of kind of awkwardness from him. He had a right winger, right back, the kind of heavy first touches but blinding goals. He's developed into a more consistent player now, but I think that memory will live long in West Ham fans' memory.
I know what you mean. Him being so go on then. Ross has just asked: is Pep going at the end of the season when his current deal runs out? You think yes? Yeah.
I think yes, and I think it'll be, because I think Aguero will go, and I mean bad news for Raheem Sterling as well, because I think Raheem Sterling's goals is a direct correlation with Pep's involvement, and I don't think he'll perform the same.
I'm not sure. I think he still may sign a new contract before the end of the season. I'm not. I'm going to sit on the fence is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give you an answer, Ross. So.
Well, okay. Well, the only thing I think he'd stay if he signs for a couple of years when manages Qatar at the World Cup.
He was going to manage Qatar at the World Cup.
I would not be surprised if that happens. He does a little 6-month job managing Qatar, The money's there. Qatar don't want to be embarrassed. There's rumours of them sending their players like to a league club, isn't there? Have you seen this?
No, this is
Yeah,
news.
loaning out their players. Yeah, and I can't. I read this a while back, and I can't remember details. Like, we'll get it for maybe we can tweet it or get it next week. But there's rumours of Qatar kind of not even creating a side, getting their players to play as a kind of in a league side for like the season before to generate that kind of bond and that kind of.
I'll tell you who would accept that.
Standing.
Who would accept that as within their league system? Singapore, because we've already do it through the national team of Brunei play here.
Yeah. But would that be a level that would be they would aspire to?
It's absolutely dreadful. So
no. I'm thinking like Dutch, Belgian second divisions is where I'm thinking they'd end up.
They'd get smashed, wouldn't they?
I've no idea, Dave. My knowledge of Qatari players is at an all-time low.
Yeah, I don't think I know any Qatari players off the top of my head. No, but there you go. Bit of a distraction there. Okay, next game, Joshua, London Derby, but more known as
Breda Hangland Derby, really. Actually,
got to be in it. Big Breda.
Okay, so Fulham probably just want to go home now. They're at the bigger boys' house and they feel a bit uncomfortable and they just want their mum to come and pick them up and take them home.
It's sort of like they're not even at.
They don't need this season.
They're not even at a friend's house. They're sort of at like they've been invited round with their big brother to a big brother's friend's house.
Yeah, and parties developed.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's just got a bit too much for them and. Big boys are taking drugs and performing really well.
People are drinking.
Performance enhancement drugs, and they're just being a bit aggressive and bullying them, and get me a drink. Yeah.
What an analogy! What an analogy! Right, Fulham, absolutely terrible is what we're getting at. They shouldn't be in the Premier League.
I don't want to write a side off, but they're going down.
Yeah. They are going down. They've deadline day was okay for them in terms of transfers, but. It's just not enough.
Volume. I mean, Adamola Lookman was unlucky in this match. He hit the post twice. He's got some talent, but there's just so little talent on that side. I mean, I can't get on board with Mitrovic. I just can't.
I'll tell you who would do well at West Ham. Back up to Antonio.
No, he wouldn't. He's too lazy. He doesn't do any running. He wouldn't. He needs to. He would do well.
Thank you. Jack in the chat just says, when Fulham go down, would Mitro be an ideal Antonio replacement? Yes, he would.
No, he doesn't run. He would be an ideal replacement, but they won't take him because he's. Where's he from? Is he Serbian? Yeah, Burnley. That would be a good place for him. But
I could agree with that, but they won't. Well, if Dyche leaves and they get a Serbian manager, you never know. Might do.
That's not happening in Burnley, mate.
That's not happening, no. So, but well
done. One draw in 6 games so far.
It's dreadful, isn't it?
I've got 2 words for you.
Go on then.
One of them big. The other one is Sam. Big Sam.
You reckon Fulham are going to get rid of Scott Parker and bring in Big Sam?
I'm throwing it out there. I mean, Big Sam doesn't fit with the Fulham vibe, the kind of West London vibe, does it? He's drinking his pints of wine while they're having a lovely glass of champers.
I could see Sheffield United potentially pulling the trigger and getting Big Sam in, because that's a bit more of your meat and gravy.
That fits better.
Pint of bitter, yeah.
But I mean, is there an answer to Fulham's demise, or is it just a done deal?
It's done. It's done. There's no answer. There's nothing. By the time it gets to January, it looks like they're going to be so forlorn in the league.
Right, let's put all our money. You've heard it here first. Let's have super fun. Mortgage house. Loads of fun.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that can save them. I think.
Well, I'll tell you who they need. They need their own Roy Hodgson, eking out wins. Yeah. With a couple of flair players, but real workman-like side, solid in defence.
Yeah.
Hodgson ball. It is just. I'm not mad. I'm impressed. I'm just.
They kept
Zaha as well. Zaha started well, didn't he?
Yeah, they kept Zaha. That's it. That's such a big difference. They kept Zaha, and he's made a difference. And Hodgson has that squad playing well beyond its means.
Oh,
as it should. Yeah. And it just go. I mean, are they going to be buggered when Hodgson goes next season?
Oh yes.
Because I think this will be his last season. I think, but I've said that for the last 3 years.
Yeah, Man City and Crystal Palace just super struggle next season without their long-standing managers.
Without their talisman. Roy Hodgson as a talisman. Bloody hell.
I love Roy. Do you know Roy grew up in the area? I think he had some involvement in Folkestone Victor, I think, from Kent.
What, Roy Hodgson?
Maybe Folkestone Victor. I think it was Maidstone and Ashford. I think he's definitely a Kent manager and player.
Oh, good man. I like him even more. I liked him anyway, but now I like him even more. Good man.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really talked about the game, but that's all right. Yeah, Fulham are crap. Fulham are awful. Done.
It's a nice goal from Tom Kenny, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter because there's not going to be a DVD released of this year for Fulham.
No, it wouldn't fill a DVD.
So, go on then.
Paul Parker derby.
Out of all of the people, you picked Paul Parker.
Another name there. He was assistant manager at Folkestone.
He was assistant manager at Folkestone Victor. Yeah, he was.
Talk me through his game, Dave.
Well, did I talk us through it? I mean, absolutely boring. Dire fest. I stayed up. I was drunk. I'd had a great evening of catching up with a friend who's a Man United fan who had been stuck in Thailand, and he had come back, and we caught up. We had some beers. We had pizza. We played FIFA online. It was great fun.
Sounds great so far.
Yeah, and then the game kicked off, and we all thought, oh, these two really shoddy defences in the rain. This is going to be good. Then pretty much nothing happened until Mendy nearly passed it into his own goal off the post. And then Harry Maguire thought it was a wrestling match, and then it was full time. So I mean, actually,
clean sheet though, eh?
Then Cavani came on and had two good efforts, and Thiago Silva made a fantastic block, and then it was full time. But yeah, clean sheet. I mean, shouldn't have.
Yeah, I think because Vardy had the best chance of the match, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, it was just... Mendy made a good couple of saves, actually, from Rashford. Rashford went through one-on-one in the first half and just tried to leather it into the bottom corner, and he could have had a bit more composure. And he sort of just twatted it as hard as he could, and Mendy stuck out a leg and made a good save. Second half, he tried to bend one round the player in front of him, and Mendy made a good save. But it was just...
I mean, you had, 3 shots on target, I want to say, something like that?
Yeah,
4 shots on target?
I think. Yeah, 4 shots on target.
Yeah, I mean, so if Kepa was in goal, that would have been 4-0. So you've got to just...
I mean, it was just a bit lacklustre. I mean, again, Dan James started. He offered nothing, absolutely nothing. You've got Pogba came on and was pretty crap. Bruno did okay, but seems to be getting maybe a little bit tired. Luke Shaw wasn't.
What do you reckon Donny van der Beek thinks when he's sat on the bench and he's seeing Fred and just Scott McTominay slide around in the rain?
Well, it's strange because Fred and McTominay have given us quite a good solid base. Actually, they have given us a solid base, and it's a bit hard. It's a double-edged sword because I think it's... Well, not a double-edged sword, actually. It's actually hypocrisy because I think it's Man United. Because when Klopp signs someone and doesn't... Like, Fabinho didn't play and Keita didn't play for the first 6 months that much.
Yeah, they
got about integrating new players. But as soon as it's United, it's like, well, you spent 35 million, 40 million, and they should play. I do think he should be playing more because he's looked very good when he's played. But I can also take a step back and say, if he doesn't quite understand the system and how we want to play, and he's come from Ajax, which is completely different to how United play.
Yeah, they play lovely football.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and apparently the club have put him on some sort of all of his training is strengthening training, to bulk him up a little bit and make him a bit physical. So
it does look somewhat anemic as well. He probably needs a little tan as well.
So I mean, it's if we still get to January and he's not playing a little bit more, then I'll be a bit more worried. But at the moment, I'm not that worried. We're 6 games into the league. I'm not that concerned at the moment. I'd like him to be starting more, but I'm not concerned that he's not playing more. So
6 games in. I think you only played 5, didn't you? I think you came behind.
Oh yeah, we didn't play the first week, did we? Yeah, yeah. So yes, played 5. -3 goal difference, sitting comfortably in 15th above relegation. Yeah. 6 points clear of the drop.
Are there 5 teams worse in the league than you? So you say?
Yes. Yeah. Fulham, Sheffield United,
West Brom.
Burnley. Do you know what? I would have put West Ham in that list about 3 weeks ago. Burnley, probably Brighton, probably all the teams that are below us now. Newcastle. So
they're above you. They're above you, though. So
talking about the game, I don't understand how VAR didn't give a penalty. I can understand how the ref didn't give a penalty because he's looking and you can't see Maguire's arm. But how VAR hasn't said that's a unbelievably wrong decision and you need to go and look at the monitor or just overturn it and give it straight away. But
I think it's. I mean, I'm actually. It's clumsy at best, isn't it? Like he's just kind of grappling. I mean, Azpilicueta did get a decent amount of height. It didn't stop him jumping too much. I don't think it didn't suppress it.
Azpilicueta reaching the peak of his height, and he was in front of Maguire. That's what it stopped doing. It stopped Azpilicueta having a shot on target, getting a header at goal at least, and it was just like it was a penalty, 100% a penalty. Everyone I've spoken to, every Man United fan, there's nobody, even with the biggest rose-tinted glasses, going, "Nah, that happens." It's like okay.
All right, well, let's talk about the Ian Rush derby then.
Yeah.
So Liverpool Sheffield United, and that's straight away 10, 11 minutes in, we have a penalty incident. We have Fabinho challenging McBurney on the edge of the box.
Yep.
It's a robust challenge on the edge of the box. McBurney goes down, free kick awarded.
Yeah.
And then VAR reviews it to see where the incident took place. If it's on the line, it will be a penalty. That decision is given, penalty scored. What are your thoughts around the penalty incident? Do you think for me, it's just on the line. It's millimetre. I don't know. I suppose if VAR reviewing it, they need to make you can't go, oh, it's closer than you thought, we'll give a penalty. You need to make sure it's 100%.
But it's similar to it's sort of it is similar in the sense of the goal line technology, isn't it? Because goal line technology, the whole ball has to go over. So if one tiny little millimetre of that ball is on the line, it's not a goal. And the rule is if it happens on the line, it's a penalty. So if the player's foot or the ball, that's the contentious part I've got, is whether are you judging it by where the ball is or where the player is, or because he's going for the ball, he's kicking the player.
I know you can't just take two instances, but the Jota brought down Sander Berger later on, and no penalty was given. I'm like, that's definite penalty. Obviously, it changes the flow of match. One wrong can't be offset by one right. But yeah, I feel like a penalty of some instance would have been awarded, and it's close. It's very close. Is that instance? Yeah. But that didn't define the result. So we obviously had a 2-1 win for Liverpool, who's quietly gone about it, haven't they? They obviously had their atrocious loss against Villa, but other than that, it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think again, recruitment was a lot slower this year for them in the summer, whereas last summer they've got things done quite early. But again, they seem to have researched and recruited well and got players they needed. I mean, Diego Jota, I never thought he would have been coming in as this much and doing well, but he's
now making a claim to be starting. Really, he's performed really well, and I think if I was Firmino, I'd be a little bit concerned at my play because I don't see Salah or Mane getting dropped.
No, do you think it would be Salah into the middle and then Jota on?
Well, it's similar to what they lined up here, didn't they? Didn't they line up with all four?
Yeah. So,
but I can't see that doing it in high-level matches. That's a lot to ask of Firmino and defensively to cover that ground. But I mean, Fabinho and Gomez at centre back is doing pretty well. I think Fabinho is a good centre back. Is obviously missing midfield, but their midfield is probably one of their is. I mean, attack and midfield are very strong. Defence is weak, so you can take a midfielder out and improve your defence.
Yeah, I think Fabinho will get caught out against better, quicker strikers. I think there's a big difference coming up against, say, a Harry Kane than there is at Ollie McBurney.
I would hope so.
Coming up against someone like, for example, with the pace of Timo Werner, against someone with the pace of Moussa, who's probably their quickest striker.
Or, one of the most lethal strikers in the league at the moment, Anthony Martial.
He could exactly. I mean, I was going to go there, but, Bamford. I should have said Bamford. At least that would have resonated a bit better. But yeah, it's very interesting. Ross has asked, should we adopt the Dutch, rule of 10 centimetre leeway on offside decisions? That can't. If they've got VAR, that can't be a rule. That's the problem. If you've got VAR, you can't have any sort of leeway, and we've got VAR. So that's my opinion.
I'd like to see it play out. I don't know. I'd like to see the kind of the leeway bit play out because it's punishing the attacker, and I don't know. We've talked about this numerous times to no conclusion, but it's not right at the moment. It annoys me. Like Salah's goal here is lovely, kind of touch and finish.
Yeah.
Gets ruled out. It's like that's a real shame because that is so much.
If it's an illegal goal and it's against the rules, you could have a great bank robbery. You have the best looking bank robbery in the world, but it's still a bank robbery.
They're all, yeah, that is. I think that's worse than our big boy pie analogy from.
I don't think so. I made that quite concise. I think
you did. But it was shit from start to finish.
Right, moving on. The very recent
James Beattie derby.
I was going to say, the very recent Theo Walcott derby.
Yes, yeah. Or Morgan Schneiderlin. There's a bit of a well-trodden path, this one, actually.
It is, weirdly, isn't it? Yeah.
Cuco Martina? Is he?
Cuco Martina, yeah. He played for Everton at some point and Southampton, yeah. So
it's finally clicking a bit with Southampton. They do seem to take a little bit of time getting going. Like in our surprise package, was it last season? We rewrite this every time we speak about it.
Yeah.
But it's just a very well-drilled side. Hassan was, as soon as he came in, he got them much better drilled. And they started the season with an incredibly high line, and it came unstuck against Spurs, against Palace. But it's starting to come together now, and it was just a dominant performance yesterday. Everton were nowhere to be seen, really.
Great manager. I think he's got a lot about him. I think with the Alpine Klopp, isn't he? He's called the Alpine Klopp, I think.
Is he the Alpine Klopp?
Yeah, I think that's his nickname. Everton. We were talking very briefly before going live, and you were saying that's it now. You think bubbles burst, wheels are off. It proves the lack of depth.
Yes.
And I agree, and I also think it proves that when Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't score, they don't have a backup, they don't have an option.
Yeah.
So
Richarlison's important. I think right back mooring forward because it's quite narrow is important. James, I think, will be found out. It's somewhat pinpointed here in terms of he's not tracking back. He will not offer any defensive cover, and that will. Fortunately, it's really hard to have defensive passengers in a side. And just look at Arsenal and Mesut Ozil. For me, it's just it showed their backup players aren't quite up to the level of their first level, which is fine. You can't. I'm not expecting them to have a well-beaten squad, but it's a bit of a shame that it kind of.
I agree.
Dipped away. Obviously, Richarlison is going to be suspended. Digne suspended because it's serious foul play. I mean, the intent is you can argue that all you want. That's not what it's about. But he could have torn him in Kyle Walker's foot off. You're just awful. It's made worse by the fact that he has a nibble to begin with, and then chases him down, and then that happens. It's like already putting his hands away. Like, I know I'm about to step on his foot. I'm going to put my hands up here so people don't think I've done it. He knows exactly what. For me, I think the intent's there.
Okay.
But it doesn't need to be proven in this instance. It's a red all day long for me. No arguments. Your thoughts?
I'd probably agree. I think it's not. I don't think there's much you can argue about in that sort of situation. I think it's very different to the Pickford one, as I said before. But yeah, I think Everton are just a bit. The depth isn't there. Or they've got depth all in the wrong position. It's all in central midfield for Everton. That's the problem. It's all in central midfield. So. But I think Southampton's doing well. We've got again a question coming in: Is Ralph Hasenhüttl in line for like a Man United, City, Chelsea type of job, or has he got somewhere in between?
No, he'll. It's similar to for me as when Pochettino joined Southampton.
Yeah. If
he keeps this up and say he gets them to, they're currently sixth. If he gets them into the top six, top 8, there's a bigger job waiting.
Yeah. I think Man United might go for him if he keeps it up and Solskjaer struggles, or the board want to get rid of him because he'll be cheaper than say a Zidane, a Tuchel, someone like that.
Not cheaper than Poch though.
No. Is he not cheaper than Poch? No, as in wage. I'm talking. Sorry, wage.
Oh, I know. Poch will be more expensive. Yeah. But so we don't have to buy him out, do you?
No, yeah, very true. So well done, Southampton. Yeah, on a bit of a run. Now. They're up to 6th, I think, which is good. Next one up.
Timur Ketspire.
Timur Ketspire, that mad Georgian. So
Mad Georgian, yeah. And this was 1-1, and Steve Bruce is still getting away with it. I've written here a little gag here. I said they play in black and white because they are stealing points all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're just it. I thought, the luck will run out.
I,
No, nope, they literally scored the last handball goal. I mean, because they caused it, they scored the last handball penalty goal before the interpretation was
yeah.
changed. Like bar stewards, and just they're just constant. It's just I don't know.
I
I
don't. I
don't.
don't.
It
I don't get it
annoys me.
because they're never set up to win games against anyone. They never play to win a game ever. Newcastle Fulham. Whenever that fixture is, I'm going 0-0.
Are
Yeah,
you?
I'm already calling it. I'm going to go 0-0 because I don't think either team will be good enough to score. Although Mitrovic against his former club will love a goal, so or a red card, or a red card. But yeah, it was pretty. I mean, Wolves looked as if they dominated it. Obviously, I didn't watch it live. I've watched some highlights, but it was all pretty much, 16 shots to 5, but only 3 on target, and that was the problem with Wolves there. And I don't know if it comes down to Jota leaving, but they seem to be just missing something up front. Podence doesn't seem to be as good.
Well, he's not. He's quite. I know he's quite nice. He's nice to watch. Quite flashy around here, but it is the end product, isn't it? It's the you can look as nice as you want in the build up. But yeah, I think he's got talent, Podence. But Raul Jimenez getting a nice goal. I mean, it seemed like it was quite a work set piece because
Yeah.
just dropped as soon as the ball was about to be taken. He dropped back outside the box and managed to pick up a loose ball and finish it. He's a good player, Raul Jimenez.
I like Raul Jimenez. I really like him, and I think he could do a job at a a bigger club. But obviously, Wolves are aiming to be a big club now, aren't they, with the investment and. Just talking about Wolves, what do you think about the obviously the Jorge Mendes, João Felix? Is it João? No. Who's the youngster they bought in the summer? João Felix?
No, that's the
he's at Atletico Madrid, isn't he? The really expensive. Oh my God, what's his name? What the hell's his name? Pedro, something like that. He wasn't even on the bench. I've ruined my own point because it's the guy they bought for like 40 million.
Yeah, I know.
Fabio Silva. Thank you, legend in the chat. Yeah. Weird transfer.
It's still got time to come good though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it feels like for me there's a little bit of steam running out for Wolves. It's been last year. Obviously, we had the first year in Premier League, wowed everybody. Second year, did pretty much the same, but obviously had the European run going as well. No European football this year. Not been firing great so far in the league.
No,
this season.
Ross has made a good comment to say that it looks like the Premier League has caught up with Moutinho, and then that reduces their creativity quite a lot. So
yeah, and I'm still. I mean, all the talk of Neves when he was in the Championship, but I don't quite get the.
He's got a fantastic highlight reel, Neves.
Yes,
goals and passes in highlights are incredible, but I mean, Steve Bruce will be enjoying his kebabs again. I mean, I think Newcastle fans probably would have taken this at this point of the season, 8.6 games.
I'd say so. Yeah. Just weird, aren't you, Newcastle? Who's up? Who's Newcastle?
I mean, like Mike Ashley will be looking at it and thinking, "Wow, there's very definitely 3 worse teams than us in the league this year." Your Burnley, Sheffield United,
Newcastle, Everton up next this weekend. What do you reckon?
Everton will win. Yeah.
You reckon away from home, missing Digne, Richarlison?
I think they'll still win.
I don't know. That's an interesting one. That is. Will that really put a dent in Everton's start to the season?
That could be the first sensible betting disagreement we have on the same game in terms of an actual bet. Yeah. Who knows? Right, next game up.
We'll finalise with the Martin Keown derby, Arsenal v Leicester. And it's true to the end of the weekend football, and you just kind of think who's good in the Premier League. It's just a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? And Vardy, 11 goals in 12 appearances for the Arsenal. It's just written there, isn't it?
I mean,
it's just
round of applause, Brendan Rodgers. I think he got this spot on. Like, whether Vardy was well enough to start or not, I think you look at it and you just think you bring him off the bench against a defence which is getting slightly tired, and then do what Leicester do and just soak it up and hit teams on the counter attack. Lovely.
Well, that's what his life's going to become. He's got years left in the tank, but where it's starting, we'll probably need him to start. But yeah,
exactly. A good assist from Under, wasn't it? The the on loan right winger, I think, is where they've been playing in the most. So, yeah, lovely stuff. And 11th goal in 12 appearances against Arsenal. That's incredible. Arsenal did create a lot though. They did play reasonably well.
In the first half, they were a lot better. Yeah.
You'd look at the stats. They doubled Leicester's shots and shots on target. They had exactly double. So, Mustafi was terrible. You can't blame him completely, but he was terrible.
I would also a special shout out for Pepe.
Yeah.
£75 million worth of forward there. Lovely stuff. I'm going to mention that every.
I know you are.
It's worth a mention.
You've mentioned it before when they signed him. That obviously the fans get all excited, and it was similar with Bruno. Obviously Bruno's actually played quite well, but the stats are all inflated because of set pieces, especially for Pepe, being a winger scoring that many goals that were penalties. So it's interesting. I mean, I don't think any Arsenal fan could claim that as a good purchase. 75 million for Pepe.
I'm just looking at the shot map for the Arsenal-Leicester match. It's fantastic. The Leicester shots. There's 6 shots in total. Yeah. Obviously, you have a goal, which is basically in front of the goal. The next best chance in the 91st minute, so after that, is another Jamie Vardy, who he was put through. The other 4 shots, one is on the halfway line from James Maddison.
Nice.
One is well out to the wing, probably about 40 yards out. And then there's another 2 kind of middle of the goal, about 35 yards out. So, yeah, it's a little bit harsh when Arsenal fans will be kind of waking up this morning going, oh, damn, how did we manage to stuff that up? But it's about taking those chances, isn't it? But I must admit, when I first saw this, again, the Leicester side's going through another transition. We had the Premier League win side. Then we had the kind of early kind of phase after that where it's another settled side doing okay. But we're still going through more transitions. I mean, we still had Christian Fuchs playing here, but we've got obviously Wesley Fofana coming in. We've got James Justin signed last season. We've got Timothy Castagna in. We've got Mendy, who's not really played overly amount. We've got Dennis Pratt coming in. It's again another transition side. So, and whether Leicester will ever get out of transition, because they do. We're typically only sell one player each year, but I mean they're back up. We're up in 4th position. It's been a good start from a
definitely.
A quietly comfortable start.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they've got a very competent manager in Brendan Rodgers as well, who could probably oversee a transition very well and could be there.
Yeah, I think he likes that kind of stuff as well. Actually,
should Arsenal have pushed harder to sign Jamie Vardy in 2016? I mean, with hindsight, yes, but.
Oh, I don't know, because since then you obviously got Aubameyang in.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very true, actually. Yeah, very true. So
I don't think if you look up front at Arsenal, I don't think
that's not the issue, is it?
They're missing a Vardy. No. I mean, I think I would have been fascinated to see how they'd have played with him and how he'd have performed. That would have been my intrigue in having that transfer go through, but it's not an area where I think they're missing.
No, very true. Yeah, very, very true. So, just before we move on to Wikifiles then, so Brighton, West Brom and Burnley Spurs are today's fixtures, or tomorrow's fixtures for me in Singapore, but yeah, today's fixtures for you guys.
Oh, blow my mind.
Brighton, West Brom we'll start with.
That's got 0-0 written all over it, Dave.
Okay, brilliant. Don't tune into that one.
I think that's... Yeah.
So, Brighton are going to win it 1-0. Adam Lallana. Yeah. I'm even going to go to say as far as Adam Lallana's going to score. So...
I know, it's going to be Trossard.
Trossard, yeah.
Trossard, yeah. Trossard's going to roof one from 20 yards outside right.
You said 0-0.
No, I've decided now. You're like, if I was playing your game.
Okay, so what?
Still 0-0 in my game, but I've entered your game.
1-0 Brighton, we're both going with, so get your sensible bet on it. Don't do that. Don't follow our bet and we didn't win any money. Burnley Spurs, Josh. Burnley Spurs. Thoughts?
I've already placed a counter bet. I've placed the counter bet of Burnley to win.
Oh, is that coming out of the Football Talk sensible budget?
No, that's personal. That's personal, that one, which is reaping rewards, because I put £5 on when Spurs were 2-0 up last week. I put £5 on West Ham to draw, so that earned me a nice little sum. Shows how confident I am.
What are you going with? Up against Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood and Jay Rodriguez?
Yeah, it's just not the game you need on a Monday night. It's just not what you need. Harry Kane to get injured and it to be 1-1.
Yeah, that sounds about right, I'd say. No, I think you'll have enough to beat him. I think you'll have enough about you. I'm going to go...
We have scored a lot of goals
I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs, actually, yeah.
Well, let's hope that my Monday evening is that joyous.
Exactly.
Then, please, Dave.
Exactly.
I'm intrigued to see who starts with Son and Kane. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of options. We've got Ali, Lamella, Bergwijn, Bale, I mean, even Vinicius if you want to crowbar him in. You've got Lucas. Yeah, you got options.
I think it might be Bale. I think he might go full on Bale, Son, Kane.
I don't. Because Bale played midweek, so I'd say we're looking at Bergwijn is who I'm guessing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Right. So Josh, we'll move on because I got a Wikifile. Here comes a Wikifile. I got a Wikifile for you. Hey, and it is on the screen. It's from me to Josh, so Josh can talk us through what he sees.
I'm pretty sure this is rule breaking.
It's not. It's not rule breaking.
Oh, well, you sure, David? Because the ride-out rule states post 1996, and I'm looking.
And when did he play for Crystal Palace?
In 1995.
When did he play for Crystal Palace?
Yes, but I would have stated both rules work together with each other, and the 31 appearances need to be post 1996.
Right. Okay. Leeds United was the 96-97 season, and he was in the Premier League with Crystal Palace in 98, and therefore I'm pretty sure he just fails the ride-out rule because he played quite a lot of times in 95 for Leeds. But yeah.
So a free hit then, Dave. It's a free hit. I'll do my best. Okay, so we start. Oh my God, Dave. We start a youth career in 1976-83 at Nazvikens, and he goes on to make 36 professional appearances and 10 goals for them between 84 and 86 when Dave and I were born. 87 to 89, we go to, they love their memes here because they were using GIFs all over the place. Sundsvall, 55 appearances, 13 goals. 1990, still up in Scandinavia. IFK Norrköping. Lovely here. Loves it. So much so, he gets a big move. So he gets 7 goals in 9 league appearances. Gets a move to Parma. 5 years at Parma in Serie A. 133 appearances, 20 goals. Now, I'm torn between... it's going to be goal-scoring midfielder at this point, I'd imagine. But a kind of Scandinavian goal-scoring midfielder. Went to Serie A and now then joined Leeds. A couple of years at Leeds. 19 appearances, 4 goals. Didn't quite settle. So went to Switzerland, 3 appearances, 0 goals. Went back to Parma even to try and rekindle that, but nothing was working. 11 appearances, 0 goals. 1998, we come back to England. We go, you know what? I'm in England. I've got a house here up in Leeds, but I can commute down to Crystal Palace. 13 appearances, 0 goals. But then he goes, you know what? I love Scandinavia, generic Scandinavian country. And I go to Hood Ixvals ABK, 1 appearance, 0 goals, to make it a total of 280 appearances, 58 goals from 1984 to 1998 with Leeds and Crystal Palace as his Premier League experience. This player is... No, don't know.
No, you don't know. Okay, so...
Are we talking Swedish?
We are talking Swedish, yes, we are.
Talking Swedish, and we're talking Swedish midfielder?
We are talking Swedish midfielder, yeah. I would say attacking midfielder, but not very good output for an attacking midfielder.
No, not very good output for an
maybe
attacking
a winger
midfielder.
as well, maybe a winger.
Maybe a winger as well, okay.
I would say at Leeds, I remember him, well, in Premier League years, for attacking midfielder and then sometimes being shunted out to the wing to make way for someone else. And Crystal Palace, I don't really remember him, so...
No, and obviously we spoke about a Leeds United Scandinavian attacking midfielder in our derbies, the Eric Backer, but it's obviously not him.
It's not Eric Backer.
No. Dave, I've got nothing in the tank here.
You have absolutely nothing. Okay, he is now very fat.
Oh, is it Thomas Brolin?
It's Thomas Brolin, yeah.
Oh, no, I thought that... For some reason I thought there was an Arsenal in there as well.
No, that's... There is someone that who's with a similar name that played for Arsenal, who was absolutely shocking for Arsenal. I did, obviously, we go into their personal life.
We did delve into their personal life, like some secret spies, yeah.
He also invested money in real estate and, to some public amusement, in a firm selling a new type of mouthpiece for vacuum cleaners. So that's the highlight I've got from his personal personal life. Yeah.
What's up with mouthpiece for vacuum cleaners? There wasn't anything sordid about this mouthpiece for vacuum cleaners, was there?
I don't know. I don't think so. Brolin has been an active World Series of Poker player since 2006, playing in the 2007 World Series of Poker and the 2006 Football and Poker Legends Cup, which sounds very niche.
I'd like to see the player list for that tournament day.
There's also a thing I love, which is I've just got to try and track it down on his Wikipedia page. That's the bit there. Where's the good place to start? So, Crystal Palace had been procured by Mark Goldberg, who decided Steve Coppell should step down as manager and player Attilio Lombardo should take over as player manager. Remember that? Remember that happening?
Yes, I do. One of the first foreign managers in the Premier League. I mean, there was only probably a handful at that time. Wenger, Pulitz.
Yeah.
Who was the other? Vialli would have been there at the time. He was one of the early ones.
Despite it being widely reported that Brolin was to be Lombardo's assistant coach, Palace chairman Goldberg insisted that the fluent and Italian English-speaking Brolin was there just as an interpreter.
Brutal.
Oh, absolutely brutal. But yeah, Thomas Brolin, he is fat if you find a photo of him now. But yeah, lovely. Well done, Josh. I mean, it slightly bent the rules because the Leeds was a crossover between just pre and post 96. But he played in Euro 96, so...
Yeah, I think you were on the cusp there. As much as I'm on the cusp of saying I got it right when you told me he was larger than life. So
great personality.
Yeah.
So
yeah, bubbly.
Yeah, bubbly. Yeah, exactly. But there we go. Any other business, Joshua?
No other business for me, Dave.
No, I don't think so. We should be back to Sunday next week. It should be back to normal time, as long as Josh can make that as well. We do have now, actually, strangely, a queue building up of people that would like to come on the show when one of us is away. So if there are any clashes of schedules, we have people that can step in, which is good to know. But yeah, so we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and thank you so much for listening if you're on Spotify and SoundCloud. But if you wanted to find all of our back catalogue, you can find it by searching for Football Talk on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Still yet to get on Apple Podcasts, I think.
You know, I looked at it this morning. I need some help from someone. If anyone knows how to get on there, because it got refused and I couldn't work out why, but it's a real humdinger.
Okay, well, I'll put the feelers out because I've got a few people that are on Apple Podcasts, so that's right. I know a couple that are on there. But yeah, thanks so much for doing it. If you want to get in touch with us, you can search for either of our usernames, which are at the top of the screen, at CulturedF for me and at CoolJ for Josh. But if you want to get in touch with the main Football Talk podcast, then just find us on Twitter at Football Talk. But remember,
there's no A in football.
There's no A in football. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week. For now, we're out. Cheers.